thank you very much for all your registrations and for all of you coming here, all the participants here today. Thank you for joining me here. My name is Vietek. I'm the owner of a company which calls Square Motion here in Dubai. That's a video marketing agency, but I'm a big practitioner of LinkedIn, and I'm helping companies and business owners, to be actually good on LinkedIn, and I hope I will help you today as well. So again, thank you very much for all the 4 business councils which came together, and that's Swedish Business Council, Czech Business Council, Spanish Business Council, and Netherlands Business Council. Today we're going to talk about LinkedIn, obviously. And before we dive into LinkedIn specifics, I would like to just introduce you to a few statistics which are out there. So as you know, at this moment, LinkedIn has more than 600 million users, registered members. Majority of them are in US, 150 million. What is interesting that we here in UAE have almost actually more than 4 million users. So obviously, if you think of the population of UAE, which is 10 million people, 4 million users, very good penetration of the market. So I think that tells you that LinkedIn is really popular, and if you know how to do it, you can drive a lot of good business from LinkedIn. Here is another statistics which tells us that LinkedIn is really the best social network for lead generation by far, comparing to Twitter and Facebook and some other platforms as well. So definitely something to look, and that's why probably you're all here, because you want to know how to actually drive business from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn give us credibility, drives referrals, and of course attracts new business contacts. So this is very important to know about LinkedIn. And what I would like to talk about today are these 5 important steps. Sometimes people, just miss 1 or 2 or maybe 3. They have an excellent profile, but they don't engage or they don't post. Maybe some of them engage, but they don't have a good profile. So let me just go through all of those steps, which are really important for you to drive good business from LinkedIn. So to have an absolutely fantastic profile, which attracts new clients. Second is to engage with your targeted audience. Number 3 is to connect with the right people on LinkedIn. Number 4 is how to post and what to post on LinkedIn. And number 5, how to convert actually all these connections into a real business. So those are 5 very, very important steps which are out there. I hope you can see the slides and everything is going fine. Just message me in the chat session. So let's start with LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn profile is your basically like a landing page. Yeah. So first thing, what you need to do, I hope just asking you, can you see all the slides just scrolling through or not? Can you just message me in the chat bot, please? So then I will continue on if everything is okay. Somebody said lost connection. I hope there's no any issue. So we are now talking about LinkedIn profile, which is basically the first impression. Okay, all is good, perfect. Thank you very much. So profiles with professional headshot receive 14 times more views, 9 times more connection requests, and 36 times more messages. There are some pretty good mistakes which I've seen many times on LinkedIn, and that is, usually with the headshot, it's obviously, people are sharing photos from the parties, from the weddings, with the kids, or with some adventures and all these kind of things. Please do not do that. You can have these photos on your Facebook, on your Instagram, or maybe on a TikTok, but definitely not on a LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform, professional business platform, and as such, we really want to encourage you to have really professionally done headshots. So something like this, what I outline here, as you can see, here are about 7 examples of different headshots, which I found very interesting. And usually they have a very specific things which which you can have a look at. So it's a passport format. You should have an appropriate dress, definitely white background or at least single color background. You can have big bright smile and always look into the camera. Many times I can see that people are having, for example, good photo, but then they're looking away from the camera and it doesn't really look good. So these are really specific things which, if you look at your profile photo, please try to amend if you don't have that. Yeah. So. If you don't believe me or any other human, you can always check with the AI, because now AI engines are very, very interesting. So there is a free artificial intelligence analysis of your LinkedIn profile photo, and it's snapper.co. So if you go to this website, you can actually enter that website with your LinkedIn profile, and the AI engine will tell you all about your LinkedIn profile photo, if it's okay, not okay, how is it, and so on and so forth. You can go here, or also another one is a photofeeler.com, which is very similar thing. Also, they have an artificial intelligence engine which will evaluate your profile photos and check likability of your profile photos, and also you can have some other users actually commenting on your photos. Very, very interesting thing. So we are talking about first impression on LinkedIn. We're talking about LinkedIn profile, and we talked about the headshot. Now we're going to talk about headline. So what is headline? Headline is basically the most visible part of your LinkedIn profile, and it's actually the major factor in LinkedIn search algorithm. So the headline is basically the line or few lines below your name, which serves you as a differentiator. Yeah. So I'm always thinking about this, that please use it for you and talk directly to your customers. Why am I saying that? Because there are 4 different types of headlines which we recognize. One is expert headline, one is customer facing headline, mission headline, and entertaining headline. And I will get through all of those. First is expert headline. It's usually good for governmental institutions, somebody who is perhaps from the schools, things like that. Maybe some influencers and people like that. So as you can see, there are a few examples of those expert headlines. Number 2 is a customer-facing headline. That's my favorite. I can tell you why in a minute. So it's always started with words like helping, enabling, empowering, and then you enter your target audience as well as to do what. Yeah. And I will be talking about this particular customer-facing headline just in a minute. Mission headline, we are building a new reality for our people, a new future for our children, and a new model of development. This is actually the mission headline of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum here from Dubai. So I think that's very interesting. So obviously for somebody who has a driven mission or is mission driven business, then perhaps you can think about that kind of headline. And then there are a lot of entertaining headlines of people who are doing all different kind of things on a LinkedIn. And don't get me even started on this one. I think we can have a whole webinar just about what kind of headlines are out there on LinkedIn. Yeah. So anyway, I just messaged. Sorry. So I just gave you a few examples. He's like jack of all trades and master of none, and so on and so forth. So mistakes which people are making usually on a headline, there are quite few. Usually they use a lot of cliche words like a proactive, dedicated, capable, and so on and so forth. Also, many people, they're using industry jargon which no other people understand, or just very few people understand. And I see a lot of headlines which use the TLA, 3-letter abbreviations. So as you can see that example which is there below, IoT, ICT, ELV, DS, AV, honestly speaking, you don't really know what this person is doing. I mean, unless you're really into that kind of things, like Internet of Things, probably the first I would still recognize. So please, if you have a headline like this, I would really like you to change it. And what is my personal favorite? If you're a business owner, I really would like you to think about how you're appearing, how you're showing up to your clients and customers. So, and a headline is really one thing they'll see very, very often. So if you talk directly to them, then it will be really interesting. So helping retailers find better performance, productivity and profitability. Enterprise software engineer. So that's something which is very, very interesting headline, directly talking to the customers of that particular person. Another headline is, for example, empowering corporate professionals to wake up happy on Mondays, career happiness coach. Again, empowering who? So if there's somebody corporate professional who are not really very happy, definitely something like this will be very, very relevant to them. So she is talking or he's talking, I'm not really sure who's that, directly to the customers and clients. Another one is, I helped 7 SaaS businesses to reach 10 million revenue. Who wants to be number 8? I think it's very, very interesting, you know, again, like who wouldn't want to be number 8, right? So very, very direct message to very specific target audience and very, very good headline. Another LinkedIn, I help business to turn clicks into customers, CEO of Fusion Creative Digital Marketing Agency. Again, starting with I help, to whom, do what. Very interesting headline. So I think those are very interesting and engaging headlines which are talking directly to the customers. So that, again, you know, usually we help organizations to actually do these headlines and turn them into this headlines which are customer-facing, customer-centric. These are mistakes which some people who are usually they're job seekers, but I just included it here. So if anybody out there is seeking for a job, please don't put unemployed or anything like that, because the people, they are not really searching for unemployed, they're searching for certain skills. So at least put there some kind of skills. Another part of the first impression on LinkedIn is LinkedIn banner. LinkedIn banner is that big premium space above your photo, above your headline shot, above your headshot, and many people I can see, they are not using it for the brand. And I really wonder why, because it's such a premium space and not many people actually thinking about it, which is pity. And as you can see, for example, this is a big mistake. You know, many people, they have, for example, the headshot there, but the blue LinkedIn banner just telling that, you know, they are not really interested in that space. And it's like, imagine that you bought a billboard on the Sheikh Zayed Road and you didn't put anything on it, you know. So it's that kind of waste of space, which is unfortunate. So here I included a few examples of really good headlines, LinkedIn banners, not headlines, LinkedIn banners, which I like. I like really something neat and clean. As you can see, some of the people, they are authors, so they're featuring the book. And again, it's something which you can use for your brand. And it's the brand affinity here is very, very important and interesting. So these banners are really nice. I like these banners as well. So those are just another examples of what you can do. And obviously you can change these things, you know, now and then, you know, every half year, maybe, you know, something like this, or every year, whatever you want. Or you can just feature something, you know, if maybe you author or you're speaking somewhere and you want to share this with your audience, why not? It's absolutely fantastic, a good space to be there. Yeah. If you don't know how to create these LinkedIn banners, I will definitely direct you to canva.com. All of you who do not know canva.com, please go there, because Canva is absolutely fantastic platform where you can actually create a lot of other things, not just LinkedIn banners. Obviously, you can create a lot of other graphics for your social media and for other things. So it's free, and if you go to this LinkedIn banner templates, you can actually create some of the banners for yourself. Absolutely fantastic. I think is good. And if you want to have another one, withme.com is another graphic design platform where you can go to. Just check it out if you will like it. They have actually also quite nice things there. So We were talking about the first impression on LinkedIn. So we're talking about the headshot. We were talking about the headline. We were talking about LinkedIn banner, and the fourth one is LinkedIn summary, which is the about section on the LinkedIn profile. And many times people are thinking that the summary is the CV, but actually it's not the CV. It should be your story. And again, if we're talking about as a business owners, we would like to talk directly to our clients and customers. So please try to organize it in a way or write it in a way that is really, again, customer centric, is customer facing. So I would like to just give you few things or few tips how to do that. We will not dive too deep into this. So be personable, that's one thing. So really write it as an interesting story so people can read it. Second, share your story in first person. Many times people are actually sharing this or writing this in a third person. No, should be written really in first person. Be customer centric, as I just mentioned. Just try to look at your profile from the customer's perspective. And always add some contacts and call to action. So I have few specifics of the LinkedIn summary where you kind of try to make the first sentence count. Use some keywords, industry keywords, which will help you to be found on LinkedIn. Cut the jargon, again, not any cliche words. Write how you speak, again, should be story, should be easy to read. Use paragraphs, divide the text into paragraphs, and you can even use some icons and graphic elements in there, and of course add some contact details. I have just few examples which you can see. So here, for example, very I would say decent, not excellent, decent summary, LinkedIn summary. As you can see, it's broken into some paragraphs. There's some bullet points, so it's kind of like a nicely organized. He doesn't use any icons here. I think this one, this is actually another one. As you can see, there are some icons, kind of making it a little bit more funkier, perhaps. I don't know if you like it or not. Don't overdo it, but definitely always add some of your contact details for your clients and customers to find you much easier. So those are actually just few tips about the about summary. And if you want to be an all-star profile, which you can check on your dashboard, you will see that, as you can see, this green all-star badge. I don't know, perhaps you do not have it yet, and if so, good luck, and that's fine. There is a checklist which you need to fulfill. So it's industry and location, minimum of 3 skills. Your profile photo needs to be there, 50 connections minimum, current position with description, 2 past positions, and education. Yeah. So this is in order for you to have your all-star. Why is it important? Because of course this also matters in the search algorithm on the LinkedIn. Obviously that's profile completeness, connections in common, connections by degree, first, second, and third, and if you're part of any groups. So that's just the LinkedIn search algorithm. I have few action points for you from this part, which is profile to all-star. So complete all the profiles. So then you will be an all-star player from that perspective. Upload your professional headshot. Create your customer-centric headline. Revise your about summary. And upload some photos, videos, and maybe in some presentation to your featured part. We didn't talk about the featured part, but you can find it. You can find it there. So that's basically the first part, and we were talking about LinkedIn profile. Number 2 is how to engage on a LinkedIn. There is a certain LinkedIn strategy how to engage with different audience. LinkedIn is absolutely fantastic tool which helps you to search for really very, very targeted audience. And it will help you to identify really the people you want to be connected with. So that's the first part. Number 2 is you should, if you want to engage with those people, go and visit their profile. Why is it important actually? Is that Because when you visit the profile, these people will get prompted that you actually visited the profile. Number 3 is you need to engage with the post, with the articles, whatever that person writes. So let me give you an example. You want to be connected with, let's say, a CEO of some big company. So you find that person, you search for him, you will find him, you're identifying your target audience. Then you click on his profile, so you visit his profile. Then what you're gonna do, you're gonna check what this person posted in the last week, 2 weeks, and you read the post and you actually engage with the post. You comment on that post. But if I'm saying about commenting I really mean something really meaningful. Meaningful, like not just, oh, I like it, or awesome, or great, not like that. You read the post and then you say, oh, this opens up for me, so and so. So that's something which that person will definitely appreciate, because many of us, when we post, we like to see how it affects our audience. And if there is somebody who is actually writing very meaningful comments to our post, we always appreciate it and we actually remember that person. So these three-step formula is really important for any engagement on LinkedIn. I leave there one more, which is optional because it's only for first-degree connection, that you can actually endorse for certain skills that person. So just if you don't feel like it, you don't have to. You don't have to do it. I just leave it there as another step. So one of the biggest mistakes for many people, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it as well, is people are just trying to quickly jump to the sell. They're trying to sell you anything and everything. And by sell, I mean asking for visit my website, or subscribe to my webinar, or do something. Even those kind of things are considered to be sell, because you're prompting people who you don't know, or they don't know you, to ask them to do something for you. So please try to resist. From the first moment, do not really sell. Try to identify if people who are on the other side are actually your targeted audience, if they need your help, and only then, after qualifying this, you start certain conversation. But we're going to talk about it just slightly, a few minutes later. What is also important in terms of LinkedIn engagement is join some very relevant industry groups, or LinkedIn groups. There are some of them. I know that LinkedIn groups, they keep talking, LinkedIn actually keep talking about they're going to revise it and revamp it. Nothing is really much happening at this moment, but I hope that some of the, and I've seen few LinkedIn groups which are actually very active. So if you are gonna go and check out your relevant or industry relevant specific groups, perhaps you will find that there are really some good value in it. Like and comment on the LinkedIn articles, customize your URL address, and engage with your profile viewers. So those are other parts of LinkedIn engagement which you can do instantly. Yeah. So always engage before connecting. Start engagement first, then start connecting. Imagine that the person which I was giving you the example, the person who is constantly seeing your comments on his post. Actually, I can guarantee you that he will be interested to meet you. So you don't even need to send a connection request. He will be actually interested to meet you, because you will become his #1 fan on his post. So it's really interesting strategy how to do that. There are a few things which I mentioned in the engagement level. So, for example, customizing your URL, which is important as well, because in a default way, LinkedIn will give you usually some string of numbers and letters and things like that. So if you go to your privacy setting on your profile, you can edit that public profile and you can actually customize your URL. Very, very interesting. Definitely something which are important. If you want to message somebody you're not connected with, that's kind of a tricky one. But if you're in the same group, in the same industry group, LinkedIn group, then actually you can do that. Only then you can actually do it. So that's why also it's important to actually be in some LinkedIn groups. Social selling index is another way how you can measure your engagement on LinkedIn. If you go to this address, linkedin.com/sales/SSI, then you can check your social selling index. I'm not really particularly interested so much about these numbers because they may not tell you everything about you on LinkedIn, but on the other hand, yeah, why not? You can always figure out if you like to to see some metrics. Action points from this part is identify 5 people you want to connect with, visit their profile and gather the intelligence, or in quote unquote intelligence. I mean, just check the profile and see what their what their interests, what their skills and all that. Engage with the posts and articles, as I mentioned, leave always meaningful comments and repeat this for 1 week and you will see what happens. I know it's a little bit time consuming, perhaps not everybody will do that. Maybe you can do it with just 3 people or with really your dream client, but I will guarantee you that you will get noticed, you will be visible to these kind of people and to your ideal clients, and they will be asking you for connection afterwards. And we are getting to the connection actually. So how to connect with my ideal clients on LinkedIn. So obviously there are a few things what you can do. First, which makes it all quite easy, right? Connect with people you know. So if you know your colleagues, your former colleagues, your alumni, people who you know from the school, all these kind of things, you can obviously connect with those people because that's the easy part. Connect people with you want to know. That's the part where comes the engagement first and then connecting. So engaging first and then connecting with these people, and with the connection, with always if you're sending them the connection request, always add a personalized note. I can't stress this enough. How many times people are just clicking on connect without personalized note? The personalized note is really very important because it at least tells to the other people that you took a time and you are really interested in connecting with that particular person. You can actually add, sorry, I will just click back on this one. You can actually add few things to the personalized note. Perhaps you've seen some post of the person and it was really relevant to you, or it was some kind of aha moment for you. So you can add something like this, very, very personalized. So the person knows that you actually took time and visited the profile, seen the content, and that's why you want to connect with him or her. Yeah. So that's really important in terms of connecting. What you can also go to and how you can find a good prospects is find a warm prospects. See who is commenting on your post, who visited your profile, obviously, and then you can go there, visit their profile, and if appropriate, of course, ask for connection. So that's how you can find the warm prospects. You can also see on the right side, if you're connecting with somebody, people also viewed feature. So that's a LinkedIn feature which will actually show you who are very similar people who you're connecting with right there. So you can actually check that out and see if those are people you want to be connected with. Find a nearby feature is of course available only on your mobile phones if you switch on the Bluetooth, and they're actually quite interesting feature because whenever you go to any networking event, of course now we are not going anywhere, but in the near future, if you go somewhere, you can actually switch on this, and you will be finding people who are actually on that same event and have, of course, that feature switched on, so you can connect with them. Not many people know that actually in LinkedIn you can use Boolean search. Boolean search is you can use and, or, and some parentheses. So LinkedIn trainer and speaker or trainer. So you can actually use the Boolean search to add or actually eradicate certain words. Yeah. So that's just kind of interesting to know. For the connection request, definitely I would advise you to create a follow-up message sequence. So whenever you're connecting with some prospect and you're building the rapport and engaging with them, obviously it's good to have the message sequence to have it ready. And because later on you would like them to move from your inbox offline for the sales conversation later on. Hide your competitors. If you want to hide your competitors from your LinkedIn profile, it's actually the similar thing what was before. So you go to privacy settings on your profile and just they'll locate this viewers of this profile also viewed, and then set it to no, so this will not be showing your competitors on your profile. You can also download the list of the connections. Interesting feature as well on a LinkedIn. Again, go to privacy settings on your LinkedIn profile and just search for how LinkedIn uses your data and get copy of your data. That's an interesting one. So action points from this part is write approximately 3 versions of your connection request, the personalized note. Prepare, of course, your follow-up sequence, because there will be some follow-up talks. Identify your specific target audience, approximately 1 to 3 groups, and you should send connection requests to at least 5 people a day. I don't know if that is too little or too many. You decide your ideal number. I leave it up to you. I wanted to show you this. This is another kind of interesting feature which checks personality traits of your clients. crystalnose.com. It is a Chrome extension which you can install, and it will actually evaluate the person you want to be connected with, or the personal traits of that person. Interesting thing. You can check it out. So we were talking about LinkedIn profile, we were talking about LinkedIn engagement, about connection, and now let's talk about what and how to post on LinkedIn. So what to post, why to post, and how often to post. Those are always the important questions. So what to post on LinkedIn, obviously, number one is kind of like a short form content. I like to post in between some major posts which I do on LinkedIn, some very interesting quotes from different people, and I can see that many of my contacts, they actually like that. They are interested, they're inspired by this. So this is something what I do. You can find your own thing, what you want to. It's very short. Really nothing, as you can see, it's just basically 2 lines and that's it. What you can post, of course, is a longer form content or long form content where you write a little bit longer post on your feed and include some interesting statistics, maybe some interesting numbers, something. So let's that's the type of long form content. Photo content obviously is a content with the photos, with a photo. You can of course share some videos, and now interestingly we can add some polls. It's a new feature which is just rolling out. I'm not really sure if everybody has it, but yeah, it's gonna be rolled out to everyone. So create a very short polls, interesting things. And you can of course write in articles. I'm not really sure if articles work that well. For some people they do. For me personally, I'm not really writing too many articles, but still something to to consider if you're thinking about what to post. And obviously you can always add some presentations which are also very interesting and usually quite engaging. So why to post on LinkedIn is quite self-explanatory. You need to always think about how to start conversation with your clients. You want to share some value. You want to build trust, demonstrate your expertise, develop relationships, and at the end of the day, of course, generate new business. Here are some examples of what you can post on LinkedIn. So you can think of, for example, what inspires you. So you can actually post what inspires you. You can answer some questions from your clients. You can create a top 10 list of whatever it is, maybe some apps, maybe some software, maybe movies, whatever it is. React to other posts, add some value to that. Create or share some infographics. Again, you can go back to Canva or with me to create infographics, for example, there. Highlight your customer or product. Again, very interesting to give shout out to your customer or customer's product. You can also highlight certain mistakes in your industry. If you want, you can predict the future trends. If you see some, you reveal your process, how you do certain things. You can write a book review, for example, or talk about your favorite podcast. You can comment on some industry news or share the biggest challenges or wins which you had in the past week, past month. Interview with client or give a shout out to your guru. Those are just a few things which you can think of in terms of what to post on a LinkedIn. And before we go into LinkedIn Convert, I actually get to ask many times the question, how often to post. Honestly speaking, there is no any right answer. I would prefer that you post at least 3 times a week. It's kind of rule of thumb. I do post about 3 to 5 times a day, and I'm not asking you to do the same thing, definitely not. But if you think of it, the more data you have, the more you will be able to actually analyze what works in your industry for your connections, for your audience, and you will be able to actually fine-tune these things. So that's why it's important to actually post a few times or more times than just once a week. As many of us do, many of people they post just once a month. But obviously, once a month, it's you're just getting lost in the other content. So I think really, if you want to, please just try to do at least 3 times a week and change the content and see what works. What are the topics which are actually interesting for your audience. And the last part of this presentation is LinkedIn Convert, how to generate leads and increase your business. So of course, LinkedIn, the strategy is how to search for the ideal clients, how to communicate in your inbox, and how to move the clients offline afterwards. So question is really LinkedIn for me? I hope that the answer is yes, because LinkedIn really, for business owners, it brings a lot of visibility. It creates a credibility and expertise, and of course, it drives leads at the end of the day. But many times, again, the thing is, are we really thinking about what is the ROI of all our activities? And this is something which we are normally sharing with our clients, in order to show them what is the return on investment on their activities. So this is very weirdly looking formula, but actually it tells you what's the ROI of your LinkedIn activity, where the C is the number of connection per month, CR is a conversion ratio, CC is a client conversion, and LTV is a lifetime value. So I will give you an example of just imagine that you have 100 new connections a month. Out of this 100 new connections, probably just 35% of the people will be your ideal clients or might be your potential clients. Out of this 35%, only 20% of those people will actually turn to be your customers. And if their lifetime value will be 15,000 dirhams, the ROI of your activity is 105,000 dirhams. I think quite decent number, quite decent ROI on your activity. Anyone, if you think of it that the 100 is still too many, so I dial it down a little bit, and let's say that you have only 50 new connections in a month. Again, out of this 50, only 35% might be your potential clients. Out of the 35%, only 20% will turn out to be your clients in the future. And if their lifetime value is 6,000 dirhams, still there is very decent 21,000 dirhams ROI on your activity. So I think that's interesting to look at as a marketers. Sometimes we forget to actually put some numbers behind all our activities, what we do on the social media, and this will give you certain things. So that's pretty much everything what I wanted to share with you today. I hope I covered pretty much all what need to be covered, and now we will have some time for questions and answers. So I will go through the chat and I will have a look what's there. Obviously, sorry, I just go back to this. If you want to get connected with me, I will be more than happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. If you want to reach out with any questions in the future about whatever related LinkedIn, more than happy actually to get in touch with you. So I'm gonna go and check your questions. And then Bharat is asking, what is your advice for businesses looking at individuals' profiles for B2B lead generation? Yeah, Bharat, so yeah, I think LinkedIn is absolutely fantastic platform where you can search for very, very specific people you want to be connected with. I think I covered pretty much everything what you need to do in order to connect with those people. Obviously, there is a lot to be discussed in terms of how to take people inside your inbox, what to discuss with them, you know, how to lead a sales conversation inside your inbox, and eventually you want to take them outside, offline, into your email and start communicating that email and have a meaningful sales discussion, obviously. So those are the steps which you usually need to follow. So I hope that's that answering your question there. Koshi is saying that for me, connections don't really matter. What matters is engagement and who creates value for others by providing knowledge, sharing value additions. Yeah, absolutely. It's very true. Obviously, connections. Many times you can see now, especially on the LinkedIn, there is something which called Lion Movement, LION, a LinkedIn Open Networker, and people are just connecting with different people, right, left, and center. Just basically accumulating some numbers, but without any strategy. And I think the strategy is the key word here. Have a focus. Have focus. Sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't have enough views on my post, or I don't have enough likes." But does it really matter if you have 1,000 likes or on your post and nobody's actually coming as your client or somebody who is really interested in your product or service? Or is it better to have 10, but out of them 2 are really interested in your target audience? So I think that's always the difference between quality and quantity, and I would really highly advise you to be very cautious about who you're connecting with and who is your target audience. It's also important for the LinkedIn algorithm, because if you're confusing the LinkedIn algorithm and connecting with anybody and everybody on a LinkedIn, then basically the LinkedIn doesn't really know who you are and what kind of content to put in front of you. So that's I absolutely agree there. Koshi is saying that again, 90% of people on LinkedIn have little engagement or post. Really, they don't add any value to others. Yeah, there are many people who have, and I think that's we've all been there, right? Like we had our LinkedIn profile at the beginning, and we didn't know what to do with it. Only now we're realizing, yes, we want to try to use it, and we know that we need to use it for our business because it is a business platform, and LinkedIn is really, from that perspective, extremely important for our marketing activities. Because if you look at it, LinkedIn is really the only platform where people go with real business mindset to look for certain information, some education and business connections. So I think that's why LinkedIn is extremely important. More than 50% of people on LinkedIn just reside there as a tourist, just remain to keep looking what is going on in other social platform. Yes, okay, Koshi, thank you very much. I would... Koshi is saying that he cannot add more people as he reached the limit of 30,000. Yes, if you reach your limit, 30,000 connections, then the only thing what you can do is basically just have other people follow you, but you cannot really. So that's another reason why I'm usually when I'm talking to people, I'm telling them, please don't try to connect with everybody, because you want to really you want to be specific. You want to connect with your potential clients, potential customers. Yeah, obviously you can connect with your alumni, you can connect with your friends, your previous colleagues or your current colleagues. That's all good. But don't really go for these massive numbers and trying to get to this too many connections. So that's another question. I'm just scrolling through. There's from Rafi. Can everyone share their LinkedIn profile so we can connect with each other? Yeah, very good, Rafi. Very interesting. Yes, please. If you want to share your LinkedIn profile and connect, yeah, that would be good. Claudia is asking, which add-on paid LinkedIn products would you recommend to help increase sales? So yeah, that's actually a very interesting question, Claudia. Thank you very much for that. What is important to see, LinkedIn in a free version is absolutely fantastic tool. Yeah. If you start hitting some limitations with your free account, then you can start thinking about paying for the LinkedIn. So obviously, if you want to really dive deep into searches, then I would highly recommend to have a Sales Navigator. Is absolutely fantastic tool for searching and lead generation. It gives you a lot of different options which you can have, and I think the price point for I think it's $100 or $90 a month. I think it really gives you absolutely fantastic features which you can use for your lead generation activities. So yeah, I would highly recommend Sales Navigator. I'm a premium member. I use Sales Navigator all the time, and we're driving a lot of leads from LinkedIn on a weekly basis. Okay, so that's another thing. Is there any other question? Another question here. I get connection requests and they keep quiet when I send messages to them. What's the best way to continue the conversation? Yeah, that's. Thank you very much, Mohan, for the question. Yeah, that's interesting. There are a lot of people who basically just connect with you and then they go quiet. So you need to engage with them the way that if you want to reach out to them, then just go and check what they post. Check or if they don't post anything, just check what is their connection. Perhaps you can endorse them for their skill. They will get prompted. They will see that you're connecting with them, and you can of course message them always like. With some kind of relevant messages. So I would start, if it's really important connection for you, then you can do this. If it's somebody who you don't know and she just connected with you without any other thinking about it, then I would probably just try a few times, and if they still keep quiet, so probably they are not really that valuable connection, and I wouldn't lose my sleep over that. So that's I hope I answered that. As a business page, can I follow other companies, or is it only via my personal page? Christina, that's a good question, which I'm not really sure if I can answer that. I'm not really sure if you can follow as a business page, follow some other pages. I would need to check. I'm not really sure about that. I'm not really expert on a business pages as such. I do majority of the things through my LinkedIn profile, my personal profile. So I would need to check. But I would assume that you could. I don't know. I wouldn't think why not. Yeah. Koshi is asking, do you think that the premium membership payment help with the LinkedIn profile creating more value? Not necessarily with the creating some value, but obviously the LinkedIn is platform which is monetized by, or it's monetized. The monetization system is basically based on how people pay for it. So if you pay, then I could see that, for example, your social selling index go up a little bit. But then you're gonna start also using some searches in the Sales Navigator. So in that sense, yeah, probably your LinkedIn profile will get a little bit more value. But on the other hand, I have a friend who is a LinkedIn trainer in Australia, and he's been doing that for many years prior to the time where we could not actually post anything. Only some influencers could post on the LinkedIn, and he was driving a lot of leads from LinkedIn, even without him being able to actually post anything or create that kind of value. So you can see that LinkedIn can be really used very neatly for lead generation without actually being too much visible. So that's for the strategy. Would it be possible to share the copy of presentation? Actually, I'm sorry, the slides will not be shared with you, but you will have the recording of the workshop, of the webinar, sorry, with all the slides in there. So that's the same. Zach is asking, same as Akos. So yes, it will be all that. Many times you send a personalized message and people accept your connection, but then don't reply to your follow-up message. What can we do in that case? Asking Priya. Yeah, again, Priya, that's the similar thing what I was answering to Mohan. Perhaps you can go, you can try to connect with them, you can try message them back, you can try to see what they post and comment on their post and adding some value to the post which they're writing. But then again, if they don't want to connect with you, if they don't want to do any conversation with you or communicate with you, then what can you do really? Like you can try once, you can try twice, maybe you can try 5 times. If it's somebody really who you want to connect with, then you know that you're gonna persevere and you're gonna try to go out of your way. But if not, then I wouldn't really lose my sleep over that and just move on. Yeah. Okay. Then Rafi is asking if we can connect with all the participants in LinkedIn. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. Christina. Okay. I'm just scrolling through. What is your business? Akos is asking, what is your business? What are you selling? Thank you very much, Akos. Maybe we can take it privately. It's definitely not my PR presentation. I'm really happy to share some value. I'm driving business from LinkedIn, and what I'm trying to do really here and throughout my webinars, which I do really a lot these days, I'm always trying to help other people to see that LinkedIn is really valuable piece in a puzzle of the marketing and sales activities in the business, and I hope you could get that. Stephanie is asking, do you think the premium membership payment helped with the LinkedIn profile creating more value? That's the same question which was asked before, so I think I answered that already. What is your take on LinkedIn Premium helping drive leads for business? Shruti. Yeah, similar thing. Like if you start hitting limitations with your free LinkedIn profile, then you need to think about how to upgrade. And I would definitely advise you to if you're interested in a lead generation and taking some business out of LinkedIn, then definitely think about Sales Navigator, because that's a fantastic tool to actually help you with your lead generation sales activities. So that's it. I'm still carry on. If you have any question, please. Munir is asking, what is your opinion on LinkedIn Sales Navigator as a prospecting sales tool and lead generation? Okay, fine. So I hope, Munir, I was answering that. Yeah, fantastic tool. I love it. I use it all the time. There are a lot of other add-ons. There are some things which you can use. LinkedIn doesn't like really third-party tools, to be honest, but there are some really good third-party things which you can use in combination with Sales Navigator. And again, just reach out to me. I'm not gonna be too technical here, like it's Do Soup or LinkedIn prospecting and things like that. There are some very interesting tools which you can use, and I'll be more than happy to share it with you. Dipti, people connect with me very easily because of the nature of my business, but I don't see interaction after that. What do we do with sleeping connects? Also, I have never gained value with my LinkedIn, even with premium account. My clients are not are more word of mouth. Should I continue paying still? So again, Dipti, it's a good question, and I always answer the same way. You know, if you're hitting some limitation with your current payment plan, with your free account, then you need to upgrade. But if you don't see any value in being a premium member of LinkedIn, and you don't use it in a proper way, then why would you pay? You can just simply downgrade that and just carry on with your with your free LinkedIn account. So that's pretty much what I answer to that part. And what to do with the sleeping connects. Again, there are a lot of people with a lot of different objectives on the LinkedIn. Obviously, not everyone comes there as a being too communicative, and maybe some people just they connect with you and then they disappear, and that's okay. Again, from your perspective, from our perspective as a business owners, we want to connect with certain people. So let's just focus on them. Let's focus our activity and our energy on those people who we want to connect with, and we need to filter the other people out. So don't worry about the other sleepers that they are not connecting with you. Just focus on what you can do and how you want to connect with and who you want to connect with. Yeah. Okay, there's another question. Is there a recording of this event? Yes, absolutely. There will be a recording of this event, and you will get this. Koshi is asking if I'm getting paid for the time I spent to promote LinkedIn networking. No, I'm not getting paid, Koshi. It is just my expertise, which I'm sharing with people. I mean, expertise, my experiences, which I have with the years on LinkedIn and how I do what I do on LinkedIn. So no, I'm not getting paid. Okay. What is the minimum budget for a company to keep aside to boost each post? Okay, so that's an interesting question. Thank you very much, Rabia, for this. I wouldn't actually, as a small business enterprises, or as we call it, SMEs, I wouldn't really go into LinkedIn ads. There is I ran a podcast which call LinkedIn Smart. And in LinkedIn Smart podcast, there is a gentleman called AJ Wilcox. He's an American guy, and he's expert in LinkedIn ads. I had a chat with him the other day, and we recorded a podcast, so you can listen to that, what he's saying about this. But I think LinkedIn ads really make sense, at least from his expertise, if you have $5,000 and above as a budget. So if you really have that money and you want to spend it, then it makes sense to dive deep into LinkedIn ads. But if you don't, I would really advise you to rather look into Facebook ads or maybe some other. I mean, Facebook ads are really fantastic. To be honest. I love to use it. Even like we ran the other day at the beginning of this whole lockdown, we had a 5-day LinkedIn challenge, and we ran some Facebook ads, and it generated really very, very good results and good numbers. So I think just you look into that. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend, as a small business owner, I definitely wouldn't recommend to use LinkedIn ads. Yeah. So there is no boosting as such. Yeah. So that's Rabea. What do you think about the new create event function? Yeah, actually, it's very interesting. There are a few new functions actually which are just coming up. The events are one. It's interesting because you can create an event in a similar manner as you can create it on a Facebook. So yeah, I use it all the time whenever we have some webinars or some other events. I'm using it and I'm sharing these posts, and yeah, I can see some decent engagement on those. Of course, there is much better engagement on a different on a proper post as such than on events. But yeah, it just adds some flavor to your post as well. So I hope I answered that. Where will the recording video be posted? You will get notified in your email. So whenever you actually registered for this session, so you will have the recording from this. Does it really help to have paid campaign to increase followers? Yeah. Well, again, Rabia, I'm not really sure if like a paid campaign to increase followers makes sense. You know, if you start engaging with people, you will see that the right people will follow you, and the right people will. And it's just a time which you need to put in, and it's like it can be half an hour a day, and then you can see very decent numbers start following you. So I think it's really just put the sweat capital into it. Don't try to throw money in it. I think I would really start with doing it in terms of the organic reach to your audience. Is it okay to delete connections that we may have just accepted in the past? Yeah, absolutely. You can delete always the connections. That's no problem at all, Dipti. Actually, I do it all the time. Based on the color of your shirt, are you Dutch? Akos is asking. No, actually, I'm not Dutch. I'm from Czech Republic, but yeah, we team up with the Netherlands Business Council and Swedish Business Council and Spanish Business Council and Czech Business Council to organize this event. So no, I'm not Dutch actually. Okay, any other questions? I see that probably so. Yeah, we have, oh my goodness, we are already over 1 hour. I hope it was interesting. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining me today. Thank you very much, of course, for all these councils. Sorry, the Netherlands Council here is a little bit, okay, you know what, I'll just switch off myself. So thank you to Swedish Council, Swedish Business Council, Czech Business Council, Spanish Business Council, and Netherlands Business Council for organizing this event. I hope it was useful. I hope it was informative. You learned something. Thank you very much for being here. Such a wonderful audience. Please do connect with me on LinkedIn, and if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them even after this webinar. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you to all the 4 councils for this wonderful event, and all the best, guys.